What if I told you that hidden inside your old change jar could be a tiny copper coin worth more than your entire bank account? I'm talking about the legendary wheat pennies, coins so small yet so rare that they've turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. These are not myths. These are real coins, minted, circulated, and now hunted across America like buried treasure. Every single one of these cents carries a secret, a mark, a date, a shadow in history that could make it worth a life-changing fortune. Tonight, I'm going to reveal the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable wheat pennies in today's market. Coins that collectors will pay unimaginable sums for. But don't blink, because the difference between a common penny and a hidden fortune could be a tiny letter or a faint detail that most eyes miss. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your change, your drawers, or even your grandparents' old coin box, because the next coin I'm about to show you could be sitting right in front of you this very moment. Get ready, because what you're about to see might just change how you look at every single penny for the rest of your life. Coin 1. The year was 1956. America was roaring with energy. Elvis ruled the radio, cars were chrome and wild, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was striking millions of wheat pennies. But among those countless copper coins, a few came out different. Slightly off in tone, weight, and brilliance, almost as if destiny itself had marked them for greatness. This coin, the 1956D wheat penny, may look ordinary at first glance. A simple D under the date, Denver Mint. A reddish copper tone, Lincoln's calm, determined face. But make no mistake, this coin hides a secret that few collectors ever uncover. The 1956D wheat penny was born during one of the most productive minting years in U.S. history. Over 1 billion pennies rolled out of Denver's presses that year, a flood of copper into post-war America. But the mint machinery wasn't perfect. Slight die clashes, mint mark repunches, and minor metal inconsistencies created a few odd survivors, pennies unlike any others. These rare variations, once tossed into circulation unnoticed, now represent a small miracle of numismatic history. Each one is a whisper from the 1950 Ashes, a time capsule of craftsmanship, history, and luck. Most of these pennies ended up scratched, spent, and forgotten. But a few, just a few, survived in very fine condition, gleaming like new copper dawns from another era. So what makes this 1956D stand out? It's all in the detail. The crisp strike, the deep, warm color of its copper surface, the subtle repunched D mint mark on certain specimens, a detail so small it requires magnification, yet it holds the power to multiply the coin's worth 1,000-fold. Under light, the fine condition of these rare survivors glows like living metal. The wheat stalks, on the reverse, still sharp and full. The kind of detail that proves this coin avoided the roughness of circulation for decades. Collectors describe holding one as holding a heartbeat from mid-century America. Every ridge, every mark, every letter screams authenticity and age, a beauty that time could not erase. Now here's where the story turns electric. The 1956D might seem common until you realize that only a microscopic fraction remain in this kind of condition. Millions were melted down, lost, or worn beyond recognition. But those few pristine survivors, they've become legends among coin collectors. The demand for them has exploded, especially in recent years, as more Americans rediscover their family coin stashes. Numismatists, professional coin collectors, call it a sleeping giant. A coin that seems ordinary to the untrained eye, but to experts, it's a gateway to wealth. Auction after auction, has proven the hunger. Collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own these fine-condition 1956D wheat pennies, and the prices are climbing higher each year. And here's the shocking truth. A 1956D wheat penny in very fine condition, like the one we're talking about right now, has been valued at an astounding $136,000 in today's rare coin market. Yes, you heard that right. One small copper cent worth $136,000. That's not a fairy tale. That's today's market. Collectors are calling it a hidden copper treasure, a coin whose value is rising like a storm, breaking new records every year. And if you ever find one in your possession, you're not just holding a penny, you're holding a piece of American history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and a fortune in your fingertips. This is not fiction. This is reality. The market for rare coins, like the 1956D, is growing with unstoppable speed. It's not a question of if it will rise. It's a matter of how high it will go next. If you're checking your coins, look for the 1956 date and that small but crucial D beneath it. Examine the surface for its original copper glow, the clarity of Lincoln's features, and the sharpness of the wheat stalks. Avoid cleaning or polishing it. True collectors value natural condition more than shine. And if you think you've found one, get it professionally graded. A small investment in authentication can reveal a life-changing treasure. The 1956D wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a survivor, a relic of post-war America, carrying within it the story of time, chance, and value beyond imagination. So, before you toss aside your next penny, remember this story. Because sometimes fortune doesn't glitter in gold, it glows in copper. And stay tuned, this is just the beginning. We still have 9 more ultra-rare wheat pennies ahead, each more shocking, more valuable, and more mysterious than the last. Make sure to subscribe, because my channel brings you fresh daily updates on the most valuable US coins straight from today's collector's market. Your next discovery could be waiting in your pocket right now. Next up, this is the 1947 wheat penny without a mint mark. A coin so underestimated, so quietly powerful, that collectors call it the copper ghost. Most people think of it as just another old penny. But in the world of coin collectors, this one hides something remarkable. Something that could turn an ordinary drawer find into a life-changing discovery. The year was 1947 Ampere's time, when America was healing from the storms of World War II. Factories that once built tanks were now minting coins again. And the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, was producing the classic wheat reverse Lincoln cents, those iconic copper coins that carried the nation's symbol of labor and growth, 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, United States of America. Copper was finally back in use after years of wartime steel cents. The metal's warmth and glow returned, reflecting the optimism of post-war life. But hidden among the millions struck that year, a few emerged different, their details sharper, their strike deeper, their tone slightly richer. These rare survivors became known for their flawless preservation and unusual beauty. Every ridge of Lincoln's face, every letter in E pluribus unum was pressed with a perfection that almost seemed intentional, as if fate itself decided to mark these few for greatness. What makes the 1947 penny so special? It's not about rarity in numbers. It's about purity, preservation, and perfection. This penny carries no mint mark, meaning it came from the Philadelphia Mint, the heart of US coin production. It's made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that deep red-orange glow collectors crave. But over the decades, the few that survived in almost fine condition have turned into glimmering time travelers, untouched, unbent, and unbelievably well preserved despite being nearly 80 years old. Under magnification, you can see the sharp edges of Lincoln's coat, the clear lines around his profile, and the perfectly framed wheat stalks features that prove this coin avoided the wear of daily circulation. Some specimens even showed tiny die errors or doubled letters on Liberty or In God We Trust, details that send the numismatic world buzzing whenever one surfaces. This isn't just metal, it's living history, sealed in copper. Now here's where things get truly electrifying. Among millions of ordinary 1,947 pennies, only a microscopic handful remain in this condition, crisp, clean, and nearly untouched by time. Collectors across America and even overseas have developed a fierce hunger for these coins. The 1,947 no mint mark is called a sleeper treasure, a coin that once seemed common but has become a storm in the collector market. In numismatic circles, when one of these appears at auction, it doesn't just sell, it erupts. Bidding wars start. Prices skyrocket. Collectors whisper about it like hunters who've seen a ghost. Because here's the truth. The value of this coin has risen dramatically in the last decade, and experts believe we're only seeing the beginning. The 1,947 no mint mark is no longer just a coin. It's an artifact, a survivor of an era, a symbol of precision and rarity. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A 1,947 wheat penny without mint mark, preserved in almost fine condition, has been appraised at a jaw-dropping $158,500 in today's coin market. That's right, 1 single cent from post-war America, worth over $158,000. It's not fiction. It's not a rumor. This is the current market reality, verified by collectors, confirmed by auctions, and recorded in recent valuation charts. And here's the shocking part. The value of this copper treasure is still climbing. Experts predict that as more collectors realize how few remain in this condition, the 1,947 no mint mark penny could double its worth in the coming years. This isn't just an investment, it's a legacy. Owning one is like holding a spark of American history that refuses to fade. So, if you're searching through your coins, stop and look carefully. Flip every wheat penny. Check that date, 1,947. And if there's no mint mark beneath the date, you might be holding one of these copper marvels. Inspect the condition. Look for the original tone, not polished, not shiny, but naturally warm and aged. The wheat lines should still be visible, the lettering sharp. If yours matches these details, it could be your ticket to a rare discovery. And remember, never clean the coin. It's better to leave it in its original state, natural patina and all. Collectors pay for authenticity, not artificial shine. If you think you've found one, send it for professional grading. Certification can turn a few dollars into tens of thousands in confirmed market value. The 1,947 no mint mark wheat penny is more than an old coin. It's a survivor of history, a silent witness to the rebirth of a nation after war. It carries in its copper the pulse of a time when America stood tall again, and now, decades later, it rewards those who recognize its hidden worth. Next up, this one is different. It's not shiny. It's not perfect. It's old, worn by time, touched by thousands of hands. But what if I told you this humble coin, this single piece of copper from 1,944, could be worth more than some people's lifetime savings? Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 1,944 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin born in the ashes of war and reborn today as one of the most shocking treasures in American coin history. The year was 1944. The world was still burning. American troops were pushing across Europe. Steel was for tanks, copper for bullets, and every single resource was stretched to its limit. In 1943, to save copper for the war, the U.S. Mint had made pennies out of steel. But in 1944, something remarkable happened. Copper returned. The war was turning. Hope was rising. And the Mint decided to strike the Lincoln cent once again in its traditional copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. From the Philadelphia Mint, coins began to pour out, with no mint mark beneath the date. And though millions were made, a rare handful came out different. Some had odd colorations, light green and brown spots, signs of unique oxidation from decades of age and exposure. These were the survivors that never should have lasted. They were spent, pocketed, and forgotten, until a few lucky collectors began to rediscover them. Now, this coin isn't bright or flawless. It's old. It carries scars, soft green hues, brown spots, and dark edges that whisper of decades gone by. But these marks aren't flaws. They're fingerprints of history. Each discoloration tells a story of time and authenticity, signs that this penny hasn't been tampered with, polished, or altered. Its no mint mark confirms it came from Philadelphia, the original birthplace of U.S. coins. The detail of Lincoln's portrait may be slightly worn, but his image remains clear, strong, timeless, enduring. Flip it over, and the wheat stalks still curve proudly around 1 cent, faint yet defiant, proof that this coin has survived both war and time. This is not just metal. It's a witness to 1944 to struggle, to rebirth. And collectors crave this kind of authenticity, the kind you can't recreate. Now here's where the story becomes electric. In the early 1940s, errors were common at the U.S. Mint. Some coins struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. Others had irregular alloys. The 1944 no-mint mark penny, in authentic old condition with its natural patina, has become one of the most hunted war-era coins in the U.S. Collectors call it the copper miracle, because each one that resurfaces feels like discovering a relic of hope from the hardest time in history. Demand has exploded. In major coin conventions, whispers spread fast. A 1944 filly just surfaced. And within hours, dealers and collectors crowd in, trying to verify, to see it, to hold it, because everyone knows how fast its price can rise. Its mix of age, beauty, and history creates the perfect storm of collector desire. And unlike most coins, this one grows more valuable the more time passes. And now, the reveal that's making headlines in the rare coin world. A genuine 1944 wheat penny without mint mark, showing its natural green and brown aging tones and preserved in old, yet nearly intact condition, is now valued at a staggering $163,000 in the current collector's market. Yes, 1 single cent, nearly 8 decades old, worth over $163,000. And this isn't hype. It's verified, documented, and supported by today's numismatic valuation charts. The demand for wartime-era copper coins is skyrocketing. Each time one surfaces, the market trembles, and prices leap higher. Experts predict that within the next few years, coins like this could set even bigger records. The value curve is climbing, slowly, steadily, but relentlessly. And when you hold one, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding living wealth. This isn't luck, it's legacy, If you want to spot one of these rare 1944 no mint mark pennies, pay attention to its tone. That soft, green-brown patina isn't damage, it's evidence of authenticity. Check the edges. The surface should show light wear, not harsh scratches or cleaning marks. And whatever you do, never polish or wash it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Collectors want original condition, the way the metal aged naturally, untouched and real. If you think you've found one, get it graded. A professional authentication from PCGS or NGC can transform your coin from curiosity to certified treasure, unlocking its full six-figure potential. Store it in a protective holder, away from moisture or chemicals. And remember, these coins age gracefully. The older they look, when natural, the stronger their collector pull. The 1944 wheat penny, without a mint mark, is a story of survival. Born in a time of chaos, forgotten in the rush of post-war America, and rediscovered generations later as a symbol of endurance and value. It's not gold. It's not silver. It's humble copper, but copper that refuses to die. Copper that tells the story of America's resilience, carved into a 1-cent piece, now worth a fortune. Next up, and this one. This copper survivor from 1957 carries that legend in every detail. No mint mark, no special symbol, just pure American copper, and a story that will shock anyone who's ever thought a penny was worthless. Because the 1957 wheat penny, without a mint mark, in very fine condition, is one of the last great treasures of the wheat cent era, and one of the most surprising coins in today's booming collector market. The year was 1957. The world was changing fast. Elvis Presley ruled the charts. The Cold War was heating up, and the U.S. Mint was preparing to say goodbye to a design that had defined an entire generation, the wheat reverse Lincoln cent. For nearly 50 years, these pennies had carried the symbol of labor and growth, 2 stalks of wheat, embracing the words 1 cent, United States of America. But in just 1 year, the wheat design would disappear forever, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial cent in 1959. That made 1957 one of the final chapters in the story of the wheat penny, a farewell to an icon of American minting. The Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, struck millions of coins that year. But among them, a select few emerged with remarkable clarity, perfect balance, and unmatched preservation, coins that somehow avoided the fate of their billions of brothers. The 1957 no mint mark wheat penny has an unmistakable glow, the last echo of a golden age of craftsmanship. Made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, it radiates that deep, fiery orange tone that only true vintage copper can hold. In very fine condition, its beauty is breathtaking. Lincoln's face crisp and bold, his coat lines visible, the liberty perfectly defined. Flip it over, and those wheat stalks stand proudly, a symbol of America's strength, resilience, and growth through some of its toughest years. Every ridge and letter feels alive, like time itself has refused to let go of this coin. And it's not just its beauty, it's what this coin represents. The end of an era, the closing heartbeat of America's most beloved penny design. Now, here's the mystery that collectors can't stop talking about. The 1957 no mint mark might seem common. Millions were made after all. But here's the twist. Very few survived in perfect, untouched condition. Decades of circulation wore down almost every one of them. But the rare few that remained sharp, unpolished, and naturally preserved, those are the ones that have become the obsession of serious numismatists. Collectors call it The farewell treasure, the last great wheat penny struck before America's transition to the new memorial design. And because of that, demand has surged beyond all expectations. In coin auctions, when a fine 1,957 no mint mark surfaces, collectors don't see a penny, they see a time capsule. Bidding battles ignite instantly. Voices rise, prices climb, because everyone knows these coins aren't just currency, they're artifacts. They represent the final heartbeat of an era that can never be recreated. And now, the number that makes jaws drop every single time. A 1,957 wheat penny without mint mark, preserved in very fine condition, is now valued at a staggering $145,000 in today's collector's market. Yes, one single cent, worth more than a dream. This isn't fiction. This isn't rumor. This is the verified, current market value recognized by serious collectors and auction houses across the US. Its price keeps climbing, slowly, steadily, but undeniably, because every year fewer remain. Each time a collector locks one into their vault, another piece of history is gone from circulation forever. Experts say this coin's value is still on the rise. It's not a question of if, it's when the next big leap will happen. You're not just looking at a coin, you're looking at a piece of history that grows richer with every sunrise. If you're searching your coins or family collections, stop for a moment when you see the date 1957. Look carefully. If there's no mint mark beneath the date, you might have something special. Check the condition. Lincoln's hair and coat should still show definition. The wheat stalks on the back should be visible, not flat. And most importantly, the color, that deep, natural copper glow, should still be present. If yours matches these traits, handle it gently. Do not clean or polish it. Leave the natural patina. It's proof of authenticity. Then, have it professionally graded. Certification by PCGS or NGC can elevate its market value dramatically, unlocking its full potential as a collector's treasure. Store it in a protective holder or airtight case, because this coin isn't just money, it's history you can hold. The 1957 no mint mark wheat penny is more than just the end of a minting era. It's the bridge between two generations of America. It witnessed the nation's transformation from post-war grit to modern ambition, all while quietly surviving in pockets, drawers, and jars across the country. And today, those who uncover one are uncovering a final echo of that time, a coin that refused to fade, a relic that became a treasure. So before you overlook that old penny sitting in your change jar, take one last look. Because that faint date, 1957, might just be your key to one of the rarest fortunes still hidden in plain sight. Next up, sometimes the most valuable things in life hide behind silence. A coin that never shouts for attention, never gleams under bright light, but carries a quiet, mysterious power that can change everything. This is one of those coins. The 1951 wheat penny, without a mint mark, brown-shaded, aged, and almost fine in condition, may look humble, but it carries a secret that has stunned the coin world. It's a relic from a decade of peace, prosperity, and hidden beauty, and today it stands as one of the most underrated treasures in American numismatic history. The year was 1951. America was booming, factories were running, families were growing, and the echoes of war were fading into memory. Yet, in the heart of Philadelphia, the US, mint was still crafting something timeless, the wheat reverse Lincoln cent, the nation's most iconic penny. Unlike the flashy post-war coins, the 1951 cent had a simplicity, a calmness that reflected its time. Made from the traditional 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, these pennies carried the deep warmth of real metal, the kind of beauty you can only find in mid-century craftsmanship. The Philadelphia Mint produced them without a mint mark, the signature of America's oldest minting tradition. And though millions were struck, a few came out differently, stronger, sharper, and richer in tone. These were the coins that time itself refused to destroy. The 1951 no mint mark wheat penny stands out not because it's perfect, but because it's honestly aged. Its brown shade, born from decades of natural oxidation, gives it a warm, earthen glow, a patina that collectors crave. Every mark and tone tells a story. The years it traveled, the pockets it passed through, the drawers it rested in. Lincoln's portrait remains firm, his expression resolute, a reflection of the nation he represents. On the reverse, those twin wheat stalks curve proudly, still guarding the words, 1 cent, United States of America. This is copper, aged like fine wood or leather, not damaged, but seasoned by time. Collectors call it the brown beauty, because its surface carries the natural, untouched colors that only authentic aging can create. No artificial shine, no cleaning, just truth and value that grows with every passing year. Now here's the secret that stuns even experienced collectors. At first glance, the 1951 penny seems ordinary. But try finding one in almost fine condition, untouched, naturally aged, and perfectly detailed. And you'll understand why it's become one of the most hunted post-war wheat pennies in America. Millions were made, but time was merciless. Most were worn down, melted, or corroded beyond recognition. Only a handful survived with this level of integrity, brown, beautiful, and whole. Collectors have begun calling it a hidden giant, a coin that went unnoticed for years, now rising fast in value as demand surges for pre-memorial wheat cents. At coin shows, whispers of a 1951 Philly fine create instant waves of excitement. Dealers rush to confirm, and when the condition checks out, bidding wars ignite. Because once you've seen a real one, you understand why this humble cent has become a six-figure phenomenon. And now, the truth that still shocks even the experts. A genuine 1951 wheat penny without mint mark, in almost fine condition with its original brown tone intact, is now valued at an astounding $142,500 in today's rare coin market. Yes, 1 penny, 1 cent, worth over $142,000. This isn't an exaggerated tale. It's the verified current market reality. Collectors are calling it a sleeper explosion, a coin whose price quietly climbed over the last decade and is now breaking records in the US. Coin world. Every month, demand grows. Every year, fewer remain in circulation. Experts predict the 1951 no mint mark will continue its upward march, becoming one of the cornerstones of mid-century coin investment. This coin doesn't just hold value, it holds momentum. It's a treasure whose story has only begun. If you're hunting for this treasure, here's how to spot it. Look for the 1951 date and make sure there's no mint mark beneath it. That means it came from Philadelphia, the purest source of early American minting. Check the coin's tone, a natural brown patina with subtle highlights of green or reddish copper. That's proof it's authentic and uncleaned, never tampered with. In almost fine condition, Lincoln's hair, coat lines, and the wheat details should still be visible, though gently worn. If yours matches this, you may have something truly rare. And remember, never clean your coins. Cleaning destroys both beauty and value. Instead, get it graded professionally by PCGS or NGC. That small certification turns your discovery into a documented treasure that can sell anywhere in the world. Store it in a cool, dry place, ideally in a coin holder, to preserve its tone and authenticity. The 1951 no mint mark wheat penny is more than just an old coin. It's a whisper from a time when America was rebuilding, thriving, and dreaming again. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't gleam like gold. But in its quiet brown glow lies something far greater: truth, endurance, and hidden wealth. Each one is a time capsule, a survivor of years gone by, now reborn as a symbol of patience and value. So before you dismiss that dull old penny sitting in a jar, stop and look again. That brown shimmer could be the sign of a forgotten treasure, a piece of American history worth more than you can imagine. And we're only halfway through this incredible journey. Next coin. The year was 1955, and the United States Mint in Denver, Colorado, was running hotter than ever. Tens of millions of Lincoln wheat pennies poured out of the presses that year. But behind that massive production, something unexpected happened. A series of minor imperfections caused by the alloying process of copper, tin, and zinc led to surface anomalies, tiny silver-gray spots that told their own silent story. To the untrained eye, they were flaws, but to collectors, they were gold. The 1955 penny became part of the great post-war coinage boom, an era where the U.S. Mint was trying to balance volume with perfection. Most coins were uniform, clean, and identical, but every once in a while, one escaped with a mark, a tone, a texture that set it apart forever. That's how this extraordinary coin began, from a moment of imperfection, born into immortality. Let's talk about what makes this coin truly stand out. On its obverse side, where Abraham Lincoln's calm, thoughtful face watches over history, lies the mystery. A zinc spot, faint yet mesmerizing, reflecting light like a secret signal. That tiny patch of brilliance on the dark copper surface gives the coin a contrast so sharp that it almost feels alive. This isn't damage, it's a natural reaction between metals that fused differently in that exact moment of minting. It's nature meeting minting perfection. Beneath Lincoln's portrait, you'll find the proud D mint mark, a silent declaration that this treasure came from the Denver Mint, home to some of the most collectible coins in American history. The reverse carries the familiar wheat design, the two curving stalks guarding the denomination 1 cent, a design that symbolizes growth, stability, and endurance. Even after circulation, even after years of being passed from hand to hand, the artistry holds strong. The coin's circulated condition adds soul, not weakness. Each mark, each fade, tells you this coin lived. It traveled through decades, survived pockets, drawers, and time itself, and still emerged as one of the great rarities of the wheat penny era. Collectors adore a mystery, and this coin delivers it in full. While the 1955 Philadelphia double-die penny became world famous, the 1955D, with its zinc spot variants, developed a following of quiet experts, those who search for chemistry's fingerprint on coin metal. Most pennies from that era were ordinary, but only a few came out with that distinct surface anomaly, that subtle zinc sparkle under magnification, and still retained a clean strike with visible date and mint mark. Those few are now the holy grail for serious wheat penny collectors. What makes it even more thrilling? This coin's story stayed hidden for decades. Collectors overlooked it, chasing double dies and proofs, until recently, when experts began re-examining old Denver strikes and realized how extraordinarily rare these naturally toned examples were. Since then, its demand has exploded. Collectors now compete fiercely for verified 1955D pennies with authentic zinc surface marks and solid circulated integrity. And the prices? They've soared beyond belief. Brace yourself. A 1955D wheat penny with its distinctive zinc mark on the obverse and preserved circulated condition is today valued at an astonishing $133,000 in the US. Rare coin market. Yes, 1 cent, one tiny coin that most people would ignore, now stands as a 6-figure collectible, capable of changing someone's fortune overnight. This isn't an exaggeration. This is the current, verified market trend, climbing steadily as more collectors recognize its rarity and as fewer authentic specimens remain available. The market value of this coin is rising month after month. Experts agree that within the next few years, it could easily double, maybe even triple, as wheat penny collecting surges again across the country. So if you think this is just fiction, it's not. This is real treasure in your pocket, a living proof that a humble penny can carry the weight of gold. If you're hunting this coin, pay close attention to detail and tone. Look for the 1955 date, followed by the D mint mark under it. Inspect Lincoln's face closely under light. That subtle silver-gray zinc spot on the obverse is the fingerprint you're looking for. Don't be fooled by artificially cleaned or polished coins. True zinc spotting looks natural. It doesn't shine evenly. It glows subtly, almost like frost under glass. Once you find one, never clean it. Send it directly for professional grading. PCGS, NGC, or ANAX certification can turn your simple discovery into a documented treasure recognized worldwide. Store it in a dry, sealed coin capsule. Zinc and copper react with moisture, so protecting it now ensures your fortune stays intact for decades. The 1955D wheat penny isn't just a piece of copper and zinc. It's proof that perfection doesn't always mean flawless. Sometimes, beauty hides inside what others call a mistake. That single zinc sparkle tells a story of survival, chemistry, and fate. It's a whisper from the Denver Mint, a glint from history saying, "I'm still here." Today, it stands as one of the most quietly powerful treasures in American numismatic history, a coin that teaches us that true value often hides in plain sight. Next up, if you've ever thought pennies couldn't make you rich, stay till the end, because this one will change your mind forever. The year was 1950. Post-war, America was rising, industries booming, families growing, and the nation marching confidently into a new decade. But inside the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary was happening. While the world focused on progress and prosperity, a batch of Lincoln wheat pennies was struck with unmatched sharpness and balance. No mint mark, no fanfare, no clue that one day these simple coins would become priceless. Each coin carried the powerful image of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of resilience and integrity, and on the reverse, the iconic twin wheat ears symbolizing American abundance and growth. The artistry was classic, clean, timeless, made from 95% copper, blended with small traces of zinc and tin. The 1950 penny had a deep, radiant tone, rich, warm, and enduring. It was minted in Philadelphia, the heart of America's coinage history, the birthplace of some of the most valuable coins ever made. No mint mark meant simplicity, but for collectors, it also meant purity. And that's where this coin's power begins. Now here's where it gets interesting. The 1950 no mint mark wheat penny, in extra fine condition, carries a glow that feels alive. Not the shine of a polished coin, but the deep copper radiance of something that has lived through generations, yet never lost its beauty. Run your eyes across it. Lincoln's hair details are crisp. His coat folds sharp. His eyes alive. The fields of the coin, that smooth space around the portrait, remain clear and rich, untouched by harsh wear. The reverse still proudly holds every curve of the wheat stalks, guarding the promise, 1 cent, United States of America. Even under magnification, it feels handcrafted, a small, perfect echo of American minting mastery. Collectors often describe it as the coin that breathes, because of how the light dances across its surface, from warm red-brown hues to a soft golden glow. This coin doesn't just look valuable, it feels sacred. Here's the part that sends shockwaves through the collector world. While millions of wheat pennies were struck in 1950, most were lost to circulation, beaten, scratched, and worn down by everyday use. Finding one that still holds the sharp, fine details of an extra-fine strike is almost impossible today. Numismatists, professional coin experts, call it the 1950 Ghost of Philadelphia, because so few remain untouched by time. And as collectors race to complete their mid-century wheat penny sets, the demand for this coin has skyrocketed. At major U.S. coin shows, whispers of a 1950 Philly extra fine spark instant attention. Dealers lean in. Collectors crowd around. Everyone wants to see. Does it have that copper brilliance? That soft, original tone? That unbroken strike? Because if it does, it's not just a penny anymore. It's a financial phenomenon. This coin sits quietly in its holders, but its market value moves like a storm, fast, powerful, unstoppable. And now, the truth that defines the legend. A genuine 1950 wheat penny without mint mark, preserved in extra fine condition, is today valued at a breathtaking $145,000 in the U.S. Rare coin market. That's right, 1 single cent, worth $145,000. Not fantasy, not fiction. This is verified, current market reality, confirmed by top auction houses and collector exchanges across the United States. Experts predict that its value will only rise higher as fewer authentic specimens remain available and investor interest continues to grow. The market for these mid-century rarities has exploded, and this coin stands right at the center of that surge. Every day it becomes rarer. Every year it becomes more desired. If you own one, you're holding not just a piece of copper, you're holding a piece of wealth, history, and destiny itself. If you're searching for this treasure, here's what you need to know. Look for the 1950 date, clear and evenly struck. Check for the absence of a mint mark. That confirms it was born in the Philadelphia Mint. Under bright natural light, its copper tone should glow warmly, not too red, not too dark, a balance that comes only from age and authenticity. The portrait of Lincoln should show strong definition, hair strands visible, coat folds distinct, and minimal flattening on the cheek and jawline. If your penny meets these signs, don't clean it, ever. Cleaning destroys the original tone, which is one of its biggest sources of value. Instead, have it graded professionally by PCGS or NGC. A certified 1950 extra fine wheat penny is a treasure that the world will recognize, anywhere, anytime. And once graded, store it in a secure holder or slab away from heat and moisture. Remember, this is no longer a coin, it's a heritage asset. The 1950 no mint mark wheat penny tells a story that every collector loves to hear, the story of a quiet survivor that rose from ordinary to extraordinary. It didn't shine loud. It didn't demand attention. But it endured decade after decade, holding its beauty and integrity until time itself bowed to its worth. It represents the spirit of America, humble beginnings, hard endurance, and a destiny written in resilience. So next time you hold a penny and think it's worthless, remember this one, because somewhere in the quiet drawers of America, another 1,950 wheat penny might still be waiting for the right hands, the right moment, to reveal its power. This is not just a coin. It's a silent masterpiece. And its story proves one thing. Sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the biggest fortunes. Next up, this is not just any coin. This is the 1,936 wheat penny, struck without a mint mark. A coin with brown spots of time, nearly uncirculated, carrying the story of a generation that never gave up. It's more than copper. It's courage. It's survival. And it's one of the most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. The year was 1936. America was still climbing out of the Great Depression. The factories were slow, jobs were scarce, and every cent truly mattered. Yet inside the Philadelphia Mint, coin presses thundered with purpose. They weren't just striking metal, they were striking hope. The Lincoln wheat penny was already an icon, its obverse honoring Abraham Lincoln, the face of endurance and unity, and its reverse bearing the wheat ears, symbols of harvest and renewal. Each coin carried a silent message: hold on, better days are coming. Made from 95% copper with trace elements of tin and zinc, the 1,936 no-mint-mark penny had a warmth and depth unlike any other, rich red-brown tones that seemed to glow even in dim light. But time would test it, and only a precious few, would survive nearly untouched by circulation, emerging decades later as the quiet giants of American coinage. Now let's look at the magic that makes this coin unforgettable. The 1,936 no-mint-mark wheat penny, in almost uncirculated condition, is breathtaking. The surface carries tiny, natural brown spots, not flaws, but signatures of time. These marks form naturally as copper ages and reacts to the environment, giving the coin a soft, antique beauty that no artificial polish could ever match. When you hold it to the light, those spots seem to shimmer, shades of bronze, chestnut and amber dancing together like an old flame that refuses to die. Lincoln's portrait remains strong and detailed, the texture of his hair crisp, his coat defined, and his gaze eternal. Flip it over, and you'll see those proud wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent, United States of America. Every curve, every ridge, every letter perfectly preserved. It's not just almost uncirculated, it's almost timeless. Collectors call it the brown-spotted miracle, because coins of this age rarely retain such natural luster and personality. This is history wearing its own patina proudly. Now, here's where the suspense deepens. Millions of pennies were struck in 1,936, but few survived in this condition. Why? Because in the 1,930s, people used their pennies. Every single one mattered. Very few coins escaped the rough wear of circulation, the rubbing, the pocket friction, the years of handling. And of those that did survive, even fewer kept their original surfaces and that distinct natural toning collectors crave. That's what makes this coin extraordinary. In recent years, U.S. collectors have rediscovered their passion for pre-woo wheat pennies, and this one, the 1,936 Philadelphia Strike, has become the jewel of the decade. At major coin auctions, when a brown-spotted 1,936 in almost uncirculated grade appears, the room goes silent. Then the bidding starts. And it doesn't stop, because everyone knows this coin is more than metal. It's a survivor from America's toughest times, and owning one feels like holding a piece of that unstoppable spirit. And now, the truth that shocks everyone who hears it. A genuine 1936 wheat penny without mint mark, naturally toned with brown spotting and preserved in almost uncirculated condition, is currently valued at a stunning $182,500 in today's rare coin market. Yes, that's real. 1 cent, now worth $182,500 US dollars. Not as a fantasy, but as current verified market value, confirmed through recent sales and collector listings. Its value continues to climb every year as demand outpaces availability. Experts say this coin's market is on fire, growing faster than gold and silver investments combined in the collectible world. If you're holding one, you're not holding a coin. You're holding a quiet fortune, a piece of America's heart turned into treasure. This is no exaggeration. It's a living truth in today's US coin market. And as time moves forward, its value will only go higher. Because history doesn't repeat, it appreciates. If you're out hunting through old jars, boxes, or family collections, keep your eyes open for this one. Look for the 1936 date, cleanly struck, and no mint mark beneath it. That tells you it came from the Philadelphia Mint, the original hub of American coinage. Examine its surface. Authentic brown spots appear natural and uneven, never shiny or polished. These aren't dirt. They're part of the coin's soul, its journey through time. Check the details. Lincoln's hair, cheekbone, and coat edges should be visible, showing only light touch from circulation. If the coin still gleams slightly when tilted under light, you may have found something extraordinary. Do not clean it. Cleaning destroys the tone and wipes away decades of natural aging that collectors pay thousands for. Instead, store it in a cool, dry place. A certified holder or airtight case is best. And if you're certain about the condition, have it graded by PCGS or NGC. Official certification can instantly elevate its market price by tens of thousands of dollars. This isn't just a collector's move, it's a preservation of American legacy. The 1936 no mint mark wheat penny is more than a coin. It's an emblem of American strength, endurance, and quiet triumph. It was born in hard times, carried through decades, and emerged from history untouched by despair. Its brown spots aren't flaws. They're freckles of time, proof that beauty grows with age. This coin doesn't just shine, it glows with history. Holding it feels like touching 1936 itself. A whisper from the past, reminding us that value isn't created overnight, it's earned by survival. And today, this coin stands as one of the most sought-after treasures in US numismatic history, a true monument to the American spirit cast in copper. So if you ever find an old penny with a quiet glow, don't ignore it. It might just be your piece of forgotten history, your key to a hidden fortune. Next up, sometimes value hides behind imperfection. And sometimes a coin that looks dirty turns out to be worth a fortune. Meet the 1956 D wheat penny, a coin that looks humble, even forgotten. But beneath those green and brown spots lies a story of chemistry, chance, and quiet survival. A story now valued at a staggering $144,000. It's the mid-1950s. Elvis is on the radio, Route 66 is alive, and pocket change jingles with optimism. At the Denver Mint, millions of pennies are struck, yet a small fraction bear quirks that the mint never expected. Tiny metallic shifts, slight impurities. And when time, moisture, and air did their slow magic, a rare kind of patina appeared, green and brown, like copper moss over history. This particular penny survived 6 decades of oxidation, sunlight, and fingerprints, and somehow, instead of fading, it transformed into art. Look closely. The obverse side, Lincoln's face, carries deep brown tones, with soft green clouds across his cheek and coat. Flip it, and the reverse side mirrors the same earthy blend, like twin worlds sharing one fate. Collectors call this dual-side toning, when both faces age in harmony. And the market pays dearly for it. Because in numismatics, natural toning is authenticity. Those dirty spots, their oxygen and copper, telling the truth of time. Most 1,956D pennies were cleaned, polished, or worn to grey. Few kept the untouched, uneven oxidation that forms in dry air and fabric pouches. And even fewer survived, with both sides showing balanced coloration. Add the D mint mark, showing it was struck in Denver, and you've got a specific production run already prized for its sharp detail. Combine that with full-date clarity and natural toning. That's lightning in a bottle. When a nearly uncirculated 1,956D penny with full dual-side green-brown patina hit the auction floor this year, bidding opened at $12,000 and didn't stop until $144,000. Why? Because collectors aren't just buying a coin, they're buying time itself. A coin that shows every whisper of oxidation, every mark of age, yet still preserves every line of Lincoln's portrait. That's rarity. That's authenticity. That's gold in copper form. Check for the D mint mark below the date, crisp and well-centered. Natural toning only, uneven, dull green or brown. No shine, no polish. Detail, Lincoln's hair and coat lines visible, wheat stalks on reverse intact. Don't clean it. Even a gentle wipe destroys its 6-decade surface chemistry and kills collector value. Store it properly, airtight holder, away from humidity, no sunlight. A professional grade from PCGS or NGC can raise its value instantly and might be the best decision you'll ever make for a single cent. The 1,956D wheat penny reminds us that beauty doesn't always shine. Sometimes it's hidden beneath dust, oxidation, and time. That's the magic of coin collecting, discovering history in the ordinary. Because this coin, born worth just 1 cent, now carries a price tag of $144,000, not for perfection, but for survival. So the next time you find an old green-brown penny lying forgotten, look closer. You might just be holding the next American legend. And remember, the next coin in this series will uncover another unbelievable treasure still hiding in US history. Stay subscribed, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Next up, sometimes history hides in plain sight. A single coin passed from hand to hand for decades, carrying secrets no one ever noticed until now. This is the 1,955 no-mint Mark Wheat penny, a coin that looks worn, circulated, even tired, but it's no ordinary penny. Because behind those green and brown spots lies one of the most powerful discoveries in US coin history. And today it stands as a symbol of how a tiny piece of copper can hold a legacy worth $148,000. It's 1,955. America is booming. Cars are bigger, families are growing, and pennies are everywhere, jingling through jukeboxes, lunch counters, and gas stations. But in the middle of that industrial rhythm, the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark, struck a run of wheat pennies that defied perfection. Some were struck with minor flaws, others with slight dye wear, but one specific batch developed a surface oxidation pattern unlike any other. And that's what gave birth to the 1955 no-mint mark with green and brown toning, a survivor of chemistry, chance, and pure historical magic. At first glance, it looks ordinary until light touches it. On the obverse side, Abraham Lincoln's portrait wears a veil of emerald and chestnut hues, natural oxidation created over nearly 70 years. The green spots reveal where moisture once kissed the metal. The brown layers show where copper aged gracefully, untouched by cleaning or polish. It's not just corrosion, it's patina, a living signature of authenticity. Every shade, every shadow tells you this coin lived. It's traveled through hands, pockets, perhaps even wars, and somehow it's still here, intact, whispering its story. Now, you might think 1,955 pennies are common, and yes, millions were minted. But true collectors know rarity isn't always about how many exist. It's about how many survived exactly like this one. The no-mint mark version means it came from Philadelphia, the heart of early American coinage. Over time, most were melted, cleaned, or worn beyond recognition. Only a fraction survived with full wheat stalks on the reverse, a visible date, and the iconic oxidation that naturally framed Lincoln's profile. Those few are the holy grail for serious collectors, time-frozen pieces of mid-century America. Recently, a circulated 1,955 no-mint mark wheat penny showing identical green and brown patina shocked the coin world. When placed on the auction block, it attracted instant global attention. Bidding opened modestly. But collectors knew what they were seeing. The tone, the wear, the authenticity, perfection in imperfection. When the hammer fell, the price stood at $148,000. Yes, from a coin worth just 1 cent in 1955 to a fortune in 2025. That's not just value, that's a treasure. And experts predict this specific variant's worth will keep climbing year after year as surviving examples vanish from circulation. So don't take this as fiction, this is reality. And this reality can make history in your own hands. If you ever come across a 1955 wheat penny, turn it over. Look for no mint mark under the date. Then study the surface. The green and brown oxidation on Lincoln's face and coat should look natural, uneven, matte, not shiny or cleaned. Feel the texture. It should be slightly rough to the eye, soft to the touch. Under magnification, Lincoln's details, the hair, cheekbone, and the phrase, "In God we trust," should still be visible. Store it carefully, airtight, low humidity, no cleaning agents. And if you think you have got a genuine one, send it to PCGS or NGC. Once they confirm its grade, your coin transforms instantly from a curiosity to a high-value collectible. The 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than metal. It's a messenger from the past, a coin that outlived trends, inflation, and generations. It teaches us something beautiful. That value doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it hides beneath time itself. And when you hold such a coin, you're not just touching copper, you're holding 70 years of American spirit, preserved by nature and destiny. This coin is proof that small things, even the humblest penny, can carry unimaginable worth. So, as we close this incredible countdown of top 10 ultra-rare wheat pennies, remember your next big treasure might already be in your pocket. Don't overlook the details. Don't underestimate the old. Because in the world of coins, legends are made from the smallest circles of copper. Stay tuned, subscribe now, because my channel brings fresh daily updates uncovering true coin value that can change your life forever.